Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, the HD version for Nintendo Switch. I'm continuing episode 2, the solo turnabout. There's not much left of it, but I'm going to be done with it in just a few seconds. Well, just a few minutes is more what I should be saying. Okay. So we had this testimony about the motive for him to kill, what's his name again? Bullward or something like that. I look at me at no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. King Bullard, yeah, Bullard, decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. How would he know? And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Hi, look at me. Had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. And we only have your word for it. Who in the world is going to prove that? I will. After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atney and Kane Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security. Nope, that was blunt. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Kane Bullard decided to investigate the mask and simply mistook who he was. How would he know that? Mistook? That's right, mistook from the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error. That wasn't what I meant. Who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that? Svari, take a look at this newspaper. Oh, that's the famous Tear of Emanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article, and Svari, he got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring $50,000, and the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. There's no mistake, we have an official report to prove it, but I don't see any addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee? Yeah, who's to say that he didn't... Well, no, I think Ron Delight already admitted that he was the one who received the letter, so... This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment, and Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant. I wonder, what's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? What, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Well, the thing he has on his finger, the ring, it seems to have a red diamond on it, or, well, I don't know if it's so much a diamond, because diamonds are usually not cut in that shape, but... Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. What do you mean by that? Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. It's Barry. KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, and since I was a security team chief, I stole data from the company. Kane Bullard had yet to forgive young Mr. Delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was a thief. Here's a file that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail. However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendants pay Mr. Bullard the money, even though it wasn't actually Mask the Mask? On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mask the Mask. Hold on a minute. A painting, a jewel... Which one would be the ring? Not the painting, not the artifact, I guess, not the sculpture. Perhaps the tear was mounted, the jewel was mounted on a ring, maybe? Do you really think that story is going to hold up? That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight. It's gonna be added to the record, right? Ronnie thinks he's Mask the Mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. Ha, well, Mr. Trite. Was he trying to act like Miss Delight just now? I was supposed to do the voice. Ah, shit. I thought he was actually pretty convincing. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. Now, that's just your imagination talking. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction, the result of carefully applied reasoning. Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves? It's a long story and better saved for another time. Very well, another time. Those so-called long stories aren't usually all that long, or at least not in my experience. So we're going to try to connect Detective Anthony to Mr. Bullard, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. That's true. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. Maybe I'll be able to shake some contradictions loose that way. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to present something. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. A red diamond. No, okay, no, so the... yeah, the Tear of Emanon, that's that thing to the left, so it's supposed to be a blue stone. So that's not what I thought, but... on that picture, he doesn't seem to have any ring of any kind. And I think they show him in that picture in that... striking that pause... on purpose, right? Let me look at him again. Yeah, it's on his left hand. He's wearing a ring now. He wasn't wearing a ring at that time. That can't... that has to be... there has to be a reason for this. I probably have to present something here, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Should I present the letter? That's it. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Is it the true identity? No, wait. October 12th? If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Receiving a red diamond? It's not in the profiles, is it? Maybe the fact that the diamond isn't mentioned in there? I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. Ha, a little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even phase me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright, try thinking things through a little more. No, that was not it then. Okay, got it wrong this time. Right, I have to present this thing again. We skip through all of this. Right, I'm going to save here again. The fact that there was no money in the wallet, maybe? Could it be? No, that's not it. Ah, that's not it. Okay. Or is this from the Mask's second heist on? It was stealing guys directed by blackmail letters. Ah, man. Frustrating. I wish I didn't have to like grasp at straws like that and just try everything like I am right now. Well, it's obviously not the urn or anything associated with it. It's not this. I don't see what this has to do with the blackmail letter. It's not this, I already tried. Is it that he wouldn't have had to use the key card if he was summoned? No, that's not it either. you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 a.m. and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Red diamond. And those other pieces of evidence have nothing to do with the murder. They all have something to do with the theft at the beginning of the episode. The fact that he used to work as a guard. Grasping at straws completely. Yeah, right. I did say yesterday that I didn't know what the... that I had no idea what the motive was for the murder, so... I figured things out up until that point, but as for the rest... The fact that he steals valuable works of art, not diamonds. Take that! But it makes sense what I said. It made sense. Well, I guess you could say that it's an art to cut a diamond into shape to make it look nice because a raw diamond doesn't look all that impressive, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, right. I have to try stuff. I have to keep trying. Yeah, it's not that I already tried. I haven't tried that yet. The buzzer went off. Nah, it's not that either. Cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. I'll look it up then, since I have no idea. Well, I was thinking of that earlier, but I didn't see how this would prove anything. Take that! What, it's not that? What is it then? Oh, okay. No, never mind. Well, it's something I've been looking at earlier, but I didn't see how it was pertaining to the thing. Because it doesn't say here that it's a diamond, but it is. Apparently it's a blue diamond. Take that! The fact that he stole a blue diamond and not a red one. Yeah, I guess it is a contradiction, but because it was blue and I never heard of diamonds being blue, I thought it was more like an emerald or something, that it had nothing to do with it. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of Amenon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Amenon that the mask stole at all.
Objection.
And your point is, Mr. Trite, so you are trying to say that that blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Well, this one isn't hard at all to figure out. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. And then if you say that the ring, I guess where this is going from there is that if you mention the ring that he's wearing, you might say, oh, but I had this ring a long time ago, I didn't just receive it the other day, and then you can show the newspaper clipping again because he was not wearing it on that picture, right? Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. Well, I had that figured out at least. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Order! Order in the court. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh, I don't like the way you said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing, look at me. Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Look At Me's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity? Do you want to spell it out for you? Let me killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Look At Me wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as Mask the Mask. Look At Me was Mask the Mask, which is what I've been saying all along. What? That's my line. What's that supposed to mean? That's my line too. Listen up, you. This is what you've been saying up to this point in time. The witness pretended to be Mask the Mask in order to pin the murder on the defendant. In which case you want to insist up to and beyond the day you died that Ron Delight was in fact Mask the Mask. I must say the sudden change of heart doesn't reflect well on you. What? What? That wasn't it? Yeah, but... yeah, no, the true identity. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not what he pretended to be. Yeah, okay, no, I don't even know why I said that. Yeah, I've got all my ideas completely mixed up in my head right now. A blackmailer, that's the only other thing that makes sense then. Look At Me was a blackmailer.
Objection.
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Look At Me. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Look At Me. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start receiving well, yeah, that's the thing, yeah. You start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emelon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans, in which case that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than look at me. Shh, silence! Now I see, it's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You said that I look at me was blackmailing Ron Delight? In which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes, Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Look At Me know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. But I don't know. Because of the uniform he was wearing? It's either the newspaper clipping or the profile, I should think. Maybe he recognized him. I'm not sure. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just appear into thin air. He just took up his outfit and hid in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct, with tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Ant-Me. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. Can't believe it. He was a blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself up as an ace detective. Why, you? How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer. Why, you? How dare you even blah 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 and something that I can't read because it's just too quick. None of it can compare to my genius. You're real, you're just jealous, desecrate me, commemorate me. Ace detective not handle blackmail, murder, threats. It's enough to make one laugh. Peter the Brawny. Oh, this case. Hello, Peter the Brawny. Welcome to the stream. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Ant-Me. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Ant-Me.
Objection!
We still haven't proven that it was him that murdered him, though. So not so fast. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Look At Me was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull. But... There's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? The murder! Just follow the case along, Mr. Judge. Godo, damn it! Just because it wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! That seemed pretty obvious to me. Order. Order in the court.
Well, Mr. Wright.
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atney was at Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. I'm gonna say perhaps here before I go any further, just in case I make a mistake. That night, Look At Me was at KB Security and the defense. I'm going to assume that I can. Because otherwise, this case isn't going anywhere. The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? Ha. Don't you worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces. Very well then, let's see this proof. Proof that Look At Me was at KB Security that night. Yep. Well, what I've been saying all along is that the red ring he has on his finger has to be the ring mentioned in the blackmail letter, and that if he should pretend that this ring had been on his finger for a long time, then there's this picture that shows that he wasn't wearing the ring at that time, so he didn't receive it yet. Just in case he was trying to lie to get out of that one. But that's not really a proof that he was there that night, though. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna try that one, but I'm not too sure. This is the proof. No, it's not. It's no proof at all. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I had it wrong. Well, there you go. Or maybe I can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. Or maybe I really can't. But if we hear more of Detective Atney's testimony, yeah, perhaps this is the thing, maybe. Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. Have you forgotten Look At Me's here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder? I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Mask the Mask. No. You forgot this one? But I have never played it before, so I'm trying to figure things out as I go. Well, no, Sir Lawyer. It seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective, as well as Mask the Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. I can always reload my save, if anything. Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and by then it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Because if he's proven to be Mask to Mask from the other trial, then I can't use that. Yeah. Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. Yeah. Yeah, no, that thing, yeah. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Mask the Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Ken Bullard is concerned. No way! The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atney's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Ken Bullard's murderer. You think I chose right? No, that can't be. That can't be. It can't be over. Now, there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed innocent, the real killer, Look At Me, will go free. Mia is going to appear in a flashback and send him hints. Right? No? You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I am afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Yes, I object. Very strongly. Come on. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look at Me. No!
Objection!
Isn't that Desiree? I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. Or is it Mia channeling through Maya's body? How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Mia! That voice, no way. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the crane channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony is not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask to Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron Delights will verify that he is a true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, so what about it? Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our rights to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godo? Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godo, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Look at Me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. The last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lorley Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. I doubt that he would mistake the color of the jewel. I highly doubt it. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Grr. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Look at Me's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Oops. I'd better save then. Hang on a sec, just one chance? Ha, it seems that the party is about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony, so it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? When he yells objection, I hear bullshit. It could be, yeah. That's a worthwhile mod for anyone willing to mod this game, I guess. Bullshit! Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out the case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. Yeah, since he said that he only drinks 17 cups of coffee per trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. Okay, I've got to pick the right one. I think I know where I'm going with this, but we'll see. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his masked outfit, which is why he left no prints, but he told me, Ron Delight, that he was wearing it, but how would he know? It's one of those two. It sounds more plausible that it would be this one, but the fact that he mistook the color of the jewel, or so he pretends anyway, doesn't make much sense either. I think it's this one. Because you forgot this testimony? Yeah. The fact that there are no prints could mean that he was wearing gloves, but how would he know that he went there wearing the full outfit of Mask the Mask? And not just a pair of gloves or something. I saved beforehand, so if it's not that, I can always try again. Mr. Atme, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godo. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. Yeah, it's the only way that he would know that that Ron Delight was wearing the full outfit. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Mask the Mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever you mean. For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. No more coffee for you. That was the last cup. You said it. You said so yourself. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Mask the Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. No, I did. In the detention center. But you guys aren't supposed to know that because we didn't mention it during the trial, back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Oh, did I forget to mention it before? He did mention it at one point. Crap. Maybe I have got it wrong then. I just never had the chance to mention it up until now. Oh, yes, so he did mention it. Crap. So I might have been wrong on this one then. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Yeah, but he was in the courtroom next door, right? He wasn't here, so he's not supposed to know that. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? Plus caffeine makes you thirsty. Ah, yeah, that's a good point too, actually. Yep, that's true. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. Ah. Aye. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then, enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well, come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There was one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one? One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Objection!
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there was no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Look at Me. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct. Now if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. I said all along that the outline of the shadow resembled his, so... Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. Or the fake one. Oh, no, the real one, actually. No, yeah, he's the real one, the other one. It's so confusing at the end. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oops. Oops. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. I think he's lost it. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Look at Me, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Look at Me tried to frame Ron Delight. And yet he then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me? I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. That's the third time you've said that. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah, he's the defendant. About the verdict, I know. You never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but... I really am Master Mask! Huh? So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent right now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Yeah, he was also found innocent of the theft, so he's completely clean. Unless they want to try him for the other thefts before that one, before the urn. What do you think, Mia? Well, no, he didn't steal the urn either. But yeah, it's been proven that he was the thief that stole these 4 previous treasures, so... As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so, for now. For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant... Well, for the murder anyway, he's not guilty. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. Yeah, right. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh, Just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though. Now that all of this has happened, what? Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from TV Security, becoming Master Mask? I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure, so that's why you became Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true. Right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can't? I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there is always a way to put it back together. With glue? Heck if I know. Oh, the urn? Yeah, the urn, yeah. Yeah, that just occurred to me, yeah. The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. It has been put back together. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. His Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast, so fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy, yes, I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. I'm gonna get slapped again, right? Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya. No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever. Oops. Smacked in the face. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said, a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before, yeah. Because it had been broken in the first place, though. And put back together wrong. Recipe for turnabout. A brand new episode has been added. Why is she a waitress all of a sudden? Yeah, alright, let's save. What is it? What is it? The evidence and testimony we have seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that cup of coffee. What? No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. I saw. This one is a funny one. I hope so. I saw someone else there, a man. He's the real killer. It looks like Phoenix Wright. Poisoned? Why won't anyone believe me? Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright. What, it begins with a case being lost? Oh. Oh, shit. This court is adjourned. Oops. I didn't do anything. Oh, we're a few months later. The start of the new year always makes me feel like I can take on the whole world. I bet it does, Maya. So, I've decided... shit. What was that? What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya. But I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake. Mission failed. We'll get them next time. Never. You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Happy New Year, Detective. Likewise. Now listen up, Wright. I wanna... Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation. Yeah, me too. Alright, pal. You've got some explaining to. Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective? A what? Well, here, have this. It's really nothing much, but... Yay! Thanks. Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat. Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you? No, no. Are you doing this on purpose? I guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year? Very funny, pal. Now let's see how funny you think this is. It is when I show you this. What is it? A magazine? Hey, I wanna see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced. Trounced? Let me see that. The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this? It's a report, pal, about you. Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case. Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about it. But I don't remember anything about it. When was that issue from anyway? December of last year, which I guess makes it last month. Which makes it old news, you mean? But I wasn't involved in the poisoning case in December. So what do you think this is all about, Nick? Does he have a twin? If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility. No way, you don't mean... A phony? A phony Phoenix? A phony Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the year with one too. Magazine clipping, an article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I going to do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case. My fault? How do you figure that? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of. Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves. But I didn't do anything wrong, at least not that I can remember. You better make this right, pal. Now, love this music? Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. That means taking the case back to court. Got it? Sounds like we've got our first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in his case. it's not going to be easy to get it overturned. I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year. So you're taking the case, right? Good. We're gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal? Yeah, pal. I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. If a client entrusted the case to me based on my reputation, I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of a guy would do that? Someone who wants to take revenge on me for something? Oh. Prosecutor is shrouded in mystery. He's gonna be him again, in this case. An old movie poster. Apparently, this was the first movie that made Mia cry when she saw it a long time ago. Maya watched it recently and said she cried all night too, which I guess is why it's back up on the wall. I'll have to check it out one of these days. But he says the same thing every time. It's difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. Actually, I've neglected them for so long that they're covered in a layer of dust. I guess I should at least pretend to read them once in a while. What about the Gatewater Hotel across the street? There is a giant building just outside the window. It's the Gatewater Hotel, a high-class luxury hotel. The chain is getting so rich that they bought a whole chunk of the next town over and started building a huge theme park. It's going to be called Gatewaterland. Yeah, it was mostly Franziska von Karma in the previous one, and I guess it's him in this one. I wonder if that bellboy is going to send me a greeting card this year too. That's new. What to do? So what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick. Wait. Shit. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let's get one thing straight. Mostly. Yeah. Well, yeah, in the first case it wasn't him, for example, yeah. Let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me, it was a fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. You're a phony. Shineheop? Yeah, Phoenix spelled backwards, yeah. Shineheop, I mean. I hope not. And what kind of name for an evil double is Shineheop anyway? Nick, I've got it. If you're going to ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. A look-alike at any rate. Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual, or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up, like a guy who's just found out he's going to be a dad or something. Yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. What if he wasn't nervous because of you? Then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? Yeah, maybe they're close or something. And you will see later in the game? Yeah, I guess so, yeah. We're about to find out at any rate. Hey, there's a new mascot. A pink one. It's been ages since we came down to the precinct. Huh, Nick? Looks like Gumshoe isn't around. He's got it so easy leaving everyone else to do the work. No, he's out there somewhere. My bet is on the courthouse. He's probably trying to arrange the retrial of this case. Guess that means we should go to the detention center and chat with our killer, huh? After being convicted without a fair trial, I'm not sure killer is the right label. Examine. I want to have a look at this. Hey, that's the police mascot, isn't it? It's so cute. That's the blue badger. And the other one is the pink badger, or what? It was my idea. I made it, and now it's the national symbol of the police force. Never saw that they were cuffed together. I guess, well, because now it's in HD compared to maybe like a lot of the past versions, maybe it wasn't so obvious to see in the image. But yeah, they're cuffed together, indeed. She's not an it, Nick. She's a she, right, Chief? Yup, meet the pig badger. So one's called Blue, and the other's called Pink. But they're both called Badger. You got it, they're married. Mr. and Miss Badger seem to be cuffed together, Chief. You got it, that's marriage for you. Wow, mascot, that's deeper than the deepest of deep oceans. Ah, you got the HD version, but you never saw it before then. A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. This must be the chief of the detectives here. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Mask turned up at the bank? What's he doing? Hands up, you scalawags. You're under arrest. Hey, that's our job. Looks like Run the Lights hopped it for a new career. Quit surfing the net, Chief. Sorry, I was just, things feel pretty tense in here. Okay, well, let's move. Let's move to the detention center. This is so nerve-wracking, waiting to meet our new client. I wonder just what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That kind of talk could ruin me. Ah! How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? Ah, I know why you was all worked up then, Detective Gumshoe. Aren't they dating or something? Stoic as ever, officer. They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Aren't you? Yes, I am. I am totally and utterly let down. Are you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. I remember you, yeah. Why is she wearing those clothes, though? Maggie Bird, she's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering a lover. He was a cop, too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a quid? Oh, sure, very funny. After that 5th-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. She's not gonna believe it, though. Oh, I see. So that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying the exact same thing last time. No, they are not that I know. But it would have been a bit weird if they were, though, because if they were dating each other, how could he have gone a month without seeing her and only noticing that she was in jail like a month later or something? Yeah, that wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, but I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Right is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. So how come you're dressed like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, I don't mind one bit. Why are you making the salute? I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? Yes, in a French restaurant. It's in a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure came through for me. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. Recycled sprite movements. Yeah, the salute thing. Yeah, it's obviously recycled, yeah. I bet it is, yeah. Yeah, you could put it that way. This whole mess started on the 3rd of last month. And it happened at Tribulations. They spelled it wrong. The accent is supposed to be the other way. It's not an acute accent. It's how do you call it in English again? The one that's bent the other way. Can't remember, but oh well. It's très bien. Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and a friendly smile are always included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... one of the men slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just one sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? Not at all. I'd never even seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? What, he looks like Phoenix, right? Of course, a good waitress must be attentive to the clientele. Clientele, whatever. So you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway. How come? You tell me, Mr. Right. Guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. So if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. So what? The other man, the one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way, Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. The victim was sitting alone at his table the whole time. But how is that possible? I don't know, but nobody, not one person would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. What a pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then, they found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle of poison. What? Poison? It was in your pocket? If I had to take a guess, poison. Who is the kind to use that MO, that modus operandi? I would think the girl from the first trial, right? Right? What was her name again? The one with the butterflies and the umbrella. I can't remember her name now. I've already forgotten, even though that was just the other day that I played through that case, but it would seem like it could be her. I mean, a few years have passed, so... Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. So I would think that it could be... Yeah, her. Trying to get back at me. Oh no, not her, you will see her later. Well, I was saying that also because she said that she would get her revenge on me at the end of the case when it happened. So I thought maybe now would be the time, because poison is what she usually uses. Okay, well it might be someone else, but someone pretending to be me or something. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy. No, sir, that's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. The other guy. I was the one who took the coffee to the two men. Oh, and what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look about him. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD, maybe a promo disc. Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be pretty cool. What was the name of that group again? MC Axaw? No, MC Chainsaw? And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man, well built like the victim, really. Is that everything? Get it? It's supposed to be MC Hammer. Yeah. Stop. Hammer time. An article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. Oh yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article is about my case. Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir, it was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you in the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. Me? Yes, you, Mr. Wright. Hey, Maggie. Was my evil double I am here too? No, I don't remember a phony you, Maya. Oh, it would have been so cool. Then you got really worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you declared of this crime, you said. That's a weird accent for Phoenix, right? Okay, I get the picture, but you've met me in person before. So how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little? Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady. And your voice was a bit different. Yeah, okay, or whatever. So the guy was nothing like me then. And he had your spiky hair and blue suit. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? Everyone had these big question marks on their faces. But it seemed that no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? Probably, but what about the double jeopardy rule we've been talking about earlier, though? The court ruled in the absence of a genuine defense attorney, so we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright, do you think we'll win next time, sir? My life has been a full course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. Oh, it happened? It happened? I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. Suit of blue, big red tie, and hair like Gemini Man. Gemini Man, yeah, from Mega Man, yeah. I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. And one day, I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. Sheen Help is really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? But Maya's right. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. Well, the only person who would have a reason for this is either someone who hates me, or it is the real murderer, which makes more sense from what we've seen before. We'll find him, don't you worry. We'll get Shin help for you. I don't know how to pronounce it other than that. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Tribulations is then. Right, the restaurant where the murder took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. Alright, Nick. Let's go check out this restaurant and its food. Yeah, the food, right? Très bien. January 6th. Très bien. Spelled wrong again. Wow, look at this place. Look, more like smell. What is the suffocating scent of flowers in there? Then again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Pink! Lots of pink! No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's no one here. Don't be silly, Maya. This is a restaurant and it's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. There really isn't anyone here. Perfect. Let's get intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. They spelled fermé wrong too. The accent is supposed to be the other way. What is it with accents that they get them all wrong? It's the restaurant's front entrance. There's a sign hanging on the door written in French. It probably says open or closed. It must be one or the other, but I don't know which since I don't know Jacques about French. Ha ha ha. Yeah, French is my native language, so yeah, I know. French is a language I use on a daily basis. It's a rack full of fashion magazines and they're all in French. Why not you try wearing something a bit more chic sometime? Huh, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my acolyte clothes, aren't I? It'd be fun to wear a normal cloth every now and then. There's something stuffed in behind the rack. Looks like a sports paper to me. Hey, and look at this. Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. MC Bomber? Ah ha 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 ha. 100,000. A bomb. 500,000. MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. $100,000 maybe, but it's been crossed out, so I wonder what MC Bomber is supposed to be. The name of the band. This paper, it's from December 3rd. This paper is from the day of the poisoning. What? Sports paper added to the court record. A paper from the day of the murder. It's got to be a clue. I should see if I can find out some more about this paper. It's a rack full of fashion magazines and they're all in French. Yeah, but I already read that. Oh, wait, what? We found that sports paper behind this magazine rack earlier. I'd better try to find out everything I can about it. Look at all the little trinkets tucked away in here. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all these personally. Let's see, a bouquet of flowers, some potpourri, and look! Fine bonnet china cups. I never knew you were so cultured. Come on, Maya, this is common knowledge. Any Joe Schmo knows this much. Look, it's one of those magical boxes that spits out money. You know, you're the only person who would ever describe a cash register in that way. If the murder happened a month ago, why is the crime scene still barred like that? This must be the table where the murder occurred. I guess so, with all this police tape all around it, and that stain must be from the poisoned coffee. Don't go licking the tablecloth, okay, Maya? Why would I lick it? I'm not a cat, you know. Then why can I picture you doing just that? Wow, it's a beautiful winter wonderland out there. Really? Cool. I love snow. Let me see. Huh? It's not white. It's not even snowing. Got you. I was only kidding, Maya. Nick, there are lies that are okay to tell and lies that definitely aren't. All I did was tell an itty-bitty white lie about non-existent white snow. There's a partition. Yeah. This restaurant has partitions that separate the tables. When you're seated at the table, you can only see the tables to your right or left. This table is set nicely. It just needs a customer. What do you think this flower is, Nick? Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like a tulip, and it's not a sunflower. I don't think... It looks like a red poppy to me. Duh, even I could have told you that. Well, those are the only kinds of flowers I know. Dang a bit, I'm a lawyer, not a botanist. Well, Evan, I already checked everything. Isn't there a bell that I can ring to call for someone? Or am I supposed to go somewhere else for the time being? MC Bomber. And don't forget the 100,000 too. There's something about that name, MC Bomber. Maybe I should show it to my client. Everyone's worried about bombs these days, I guess. I'm not sure that has any bearing on anything related to this case. Anyway, we should really look into this some more. Yeah, okay, let me go back to the detention center, maybe. Oh, a sports paper. Let's see. Did Gutson Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? Sorry, Maggie, that paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Gutson got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh, no. I found this paper in the magazine rack at Très Bien. Really? That's strange. Très Bien doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. Then maybe one of the customers left it behind. Anyway, what I want you to take a look at is this scribble here. Aha! That's it, sir. MC Bomber. That was the name that was written on the CD. Just as I thought. I guess it wasn't Miss MC Screwdriver after all, huh? So that 100 $100,000 must be a down payment for a record deal, right? If someone gave me $100,000, I'd sing for sure. The Master of Terrain, or the Spirit Song, or even Maya's theme. Okay, Maya. So if the sample CD was on the victim's table, that means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. Where did the CD case go, by the way? You're right. So the victim left this behind on the day of the murder, huh? I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? Ah, there we go. Those are all music file names. Well, Maya's theme, yeah, I can guess which one it is. It's the one that was playing before when I was in my office, right? That's Maya's theme. January 6th. Très bien. Oh là là, bonjour. Welcome to La Très Bien. Yeah, a French accent I can probably do, yeah. That shouldn't be too hard for me. What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. Bienvenue! Welcome to my petit restaurant. Huh? Bienvenue? Oh no, my petit tulip. Huh? Me? Look at this face. Like a kitten rejected by its own mother. You are fatigued, no? Alors, you need this. An aromatic bath of oil mélange à la Nérolienne La Rose, my personal recommendation. You think I need what? Oui, just add a couple of drops of this mixture to la bath water and voila. It will soothe your body and your mind. It's simply fantastic. Really? And for la monsieur? Who, me? Look at that face, like that puppy rejected by life itself. You are fatigued, no? For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil of bergamot, and maybe a hint of oui. I will add la peppermint and la clary sage for a fragrance exceptionnelle. It's not hard, it's the language I use every day, and I know how people speak English with a really bad accent over here, so it's not that hard. Such an invigorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur. My beauty? Alors, if you will be seated, I will bring you a special menu of the day. Actually, we're not here to eat, we're lawyers. Mais bien sûr, I know this already, monsieur. You are La Phoenix, right? No? Yes, you know me. Mais oui, I never forget a man who flirts with me, especially in court. I guess he was cross-examined by our mysterious Shinhei. It looks like everyone to do with this case knew who I am already. I wonder what sort of impression Shinhei-up's been leaving on people, don't you? Allow me to introduce myself to you again. I am Jean Armstrong. Enchanté. Oh boy. In fact, my brother has this game. He played it in French, and in French they replaced him with a different accent, like he is Italian or something, because it paints French people in a bad way, I guess. It puts them in the bad light. I'm not French, by the way. French just happens to be my language, but I'm not French, so I don't care how they portray French people, but I couldn't care. Yeah, they did. But my brother told me that in English he was supposed to be French, which didn't surprise me at all, but and in Japanese he's probably French too, yeah. That's something that they tend to do in general, yeah. That's weird that they did that, yeah, I guess so. Well, it doesn't seem weird to me because I know that they tend to do that a lot. Okay, let's talk about this. What does très bien mean? Well, it means very good indeed. I know très that means three, right? No, that would be Spanish. Tres. No, très bien is français. In English, you would say very good. Oh, very good. Oui, exactement. L'atmosphère is très bien. La cuisine is très bien. Ah, man. If the food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? I think they're a bit freaked out by the looks on that guy. My cuisine is not for all. Some people, they do not appreciate la haute cuisine. I thought everyone liked hot cuisine. Since I have lost Maggie, I do not have enough hands. So you're running this place on your own now. Oui, for le moment. No one has answered my advertisement. Oh, pour moi. Please don't eyeball me while you say that. I am the chef, I am the manager. I am also a trained aromatherapist. A roaming what? Practitioner d'aromatherapy. La art of soothing la soul with the delicate floral aromas. He's so bad. Delicate? The smell coming from that bottle earlier was anything but. What happened? So could you tell me what you know about the incident? Yeah, it makes me sad to remember it, yet I remember it so well. More than a month has passed since it happened. Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing. So it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in here for a coffee suddenly became ill. Because of the poison in his coffee. I was going to do Phoenix with a French accent too. Because of the poison in his coffee. That is the truth as I know it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him. I was in the kitchen. I heard the sound of someone collapsing. When I came out to see what it was, he was already slumped in his chair. He was dead? Mon Dieu, oui. He was dead. Maggie had passed out also. And this man who died, was he alone? Oui, monsieur. All alone. I knew that Maggie said there was someone else, but... I see. La police, they asked me many times. Are you sure that there was no one else at the table, they asked. But I am not the only one. The old man said the same thing. Old man? What old man? So who is this old man that you mentioned? At the time of la murder, there was another customer in here. What? Someone else saw it? Mais oui, as usual, he came alone that day. At the time of la murder, he was here. He saw it too. But he said the same thing. That there was no one else at la victim's table. But Maggie swears there were 2 people. Mais mademoiselle, la lawyer, he could not prove this, no? About the lawyer, that was me, I suppose. Mais bien sûr. Wow, he's the first person who said it wasn't me. No, that's not what he said. He said, of course. Don't kid yourself, Nick. Now, who's the one making stuff up? Oh yeah. Maybe show him this. Maybe for a bit of extra info. We found the sports paper in the magazine rack here. One of my customers must have left it behind. Do you have any idea which customer it was? It's the only ideas I have, mademoiselle, except for my kitchen. Oh. I am not a lawyer myself. I do not wish to speak out of turn. But your defense in court that day was a little, how you say, lacking, perhaps? Even a Frenchman who cannot speak any English could have done a better job. You are very cool, though. Oh, oui, oui. So handsome. Wow, I wonder how bad the defense could have been. Every time you opened your mouth, the old courthouse stirred. Oh man, that is something I don't want to imagine. Please, monsieur, there is no need to show me that. You are more Phoenix Wright. What? You are Monsieur Phoenix Wright, the worst defense attorney in town. I think I can imagine how he formed this completely wrong impression of me. The last time we met, did I it's Phoenix talking. The last time we met, did I show you this badge? Oui, you flashed it to everyone in the restaurant. Looks like Sheeny Up is a bigger fan of flashing stuff than you are, Nick. The worst defense. Well, that's about everything, right? I've shown him everything, or actually no, I haven't. Maggie was a policewoman once, n'est-ce pas? Yes, but she had to quit for, reasons beyond our control. Oui, oui, she was la suspected in our murder investigation, no? Oh, you know about that? That is why I gave to her la perfume for la happiness. Happiness perfume? Oui, blended from bergamot like I have given to you before. But she's been arrested again and found guilty this time. It's making fun of how everyone shows the badge to everyone in the games. Well, I like to do it too, just to see what reaction people have to it, because it's kind of funny. This is true. Her natural aroma of unhappiness must have been very strong. Just admit it, your perfume doesn't work. I am not surprised she was the prime suspect. After something like that took place before my very eyes. Something like what? What's this guy talking about? This is perhaps what we're going to get extra info on, because there seems to be a bit of dialogue missing. Does this mean Maggie did have a motive? We've got to ask this guy for more info, stat. Ah, there we go. When Maggie took the coffee over to the victim, did anything happen? I suppose you could say so. So what happened? No, it was nothing. Look, Maggie says she didn't even know the guy, but she's still being indicted for murder. The prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive. It is true. If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant. So please, tell us anything you know. Psyche locks. 3 of them. Psyche locks. I probably don't have enough right now to break them all, so... No way. What are we going to do, Nick? We just have to remove... What the... What's wrong? The Magatama. It's gone. Huh? I had it in my pocket, but it's vanished into thin air. What? But I could see the Psyche locks. Maybe that means the Magatama is nearby. Mr. Armstrong, could I just confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting. Was anyone else sitting there? That is a question you will have to ask him yourselves. Him? Him? More like? The old man spends all of his time in dans la park. La park? Oh, a park. What park's that? Behind la restaurant. It's called Vitamin Square. Thank you. Je vous en prie, my dear. Let's go check out this Vitamin Square right now, Nick. Actually, come to think of it, when I tried to present him stuff, the Magatama was already gone, wasn't it? Where could it be? Did I drop it in there? It's a rack full of magazines and they're all in French. Looks like Mr. Armstrong doesn't get any newspaper. What, it wouldn't exactly suit the feel of the place, would it? Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic, like in these mags, Maya? Yeah, it looks stunning in some of these Parisian frocks, huh? We found that sports paper behind this magazine rack earlier. I'd better try to find out everything I can about it. No, okay. Because the little magnifying glass was a different... It wasn't showing the little tick sign, so... You will find it later? Well, I hope so. Vitamin Square. January 6th. Vitamin Square. So this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you. Hey, Nick, that's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man that Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. Maya is not throwing seeds for them, he's throwing seeds at them. Ugh, my grumpiness threat level has just been raised red. Oops. Let me examine the place before I talk to him. Hey, look, pigeons! Yeah, and heaps of them too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? I think she means doves. That nose, yeah. That's a dove, not a pigeon. Poor things. So they can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray. Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. Oh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings. A disgusting rogue picking up something someone else threw away. Threw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job? Ka! That's none of your business. Sorry, I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then. I don't want anyone else having it. Give it back. Too bad. Now that you want it back so bad, I don't want to give it up. Job listings added to the court record. Picked up from a bench in Vitamin Square. Thrown away by the old man. Looking at this orange reminds me of what? That you're supposed to eat a lot of them to ward off colds in the winter. You can't have fun during the holidays if you're sick in bed, you know? You don't have to tell me twice. This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. That apple slide is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be so stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woo! No way. I'd get covered in sand if I slid down that slide. Anyone can see that. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try, too. There is one dove in there. Ah, yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah. Oops. I already checked that out. It's a sandbox. I used to love sandboxes like you wouldn't believe. Really? You? Sure, finding iron fillings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron fillings? Filings? Wow, that's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shred of iron in that sandbox. I was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all the iron? No, I never did. I think I came close, though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron filings I found way back when. You want them? No! Okay, excuse me just a second. Okay. Were there iron filings in sandboxes back then? I don't think so. Not back then, not at any time. Unless this is something that they have in Japan. Okay, what you saw. Excuse me? Would you mind if I had a word with you? Yes! I just want to ask you a couple of questions. What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, pigeons? Actually, I think he's throwing soybeans. He's really checking those seeds at them. That's got to hurt. Go on, eat this. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird? I don't know any Maggie Bird. Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Tribulations. Ha! It's a disgrace. I tell you, an utter disgrace. A disgrace? An innocent young girl revealing herself like that. Revealing? You mean her uniform? The youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not 1 ounce. Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan, like honor and modesty? What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing. You! Your problem is you lack any sense of grace. Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. Do you go to Tribulations a lot? That miserable excuse for a restaurant. That garbage they serve in there is not food. Where's the sushi, the tempura, the rice? Tribulations is a French restaurant, sir. Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not those snooty snacks. Oh, it's supposed to take place in Japan now? it's an activity for kids? It really is? Like what, hiding things in the sand for kids to find or something? And what about those shameless girls? You mean the waitresses? You can see all the way up to their... Yes, the waitresses. They're practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it? Listen, it's not my restaurant. Ha! It's a miserable excuse for a restaurant, that place. Miserable. He certainly knows the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Haha, take that. He must be hiding something, right? If he is, I should be able to see a side key lock or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the Megatama right now, huh? They place iron filings in the sand and give them a magnet to pick up the filings? Ah, okay. Well, I was never asked to do that. And I've played in a few sandboxes myself. Remember, Nick, that Megatama is only on loan. You'd better find it or else. If Pearls ever gets wind of this, I'm going to be in a world of pain. But it showed at the restaurant, so it has to be there. But I don't see where it could be. Did he steal it from me? Yeah, it shows when I talk to him, so it has to be around here. Que sera sera. Perhaps Maggie had another reason. What's Maggie's motive to do with this chief? Never really went to many sandboxes though. Well, on occasions is what I mean. Why is he hiding things from me? And another thing. Where did I drop the Magatama? The fact that I can see the lock must mean it's nearby. I only loaned it to you, you know, so you better find it, Nick, okay? And here I thought it was mine to keep. It is closed, but where is it? Mademoiselle. Yes? Are you looking for that job? What? No, I was just... Let me see, your style is un peu différent. But you have a good face. Well, they got the accent right there. Different? Félicitations, you have passed. I will hire you. Yeah, come with me. I will teach you everything I know. Oh, we got it. Nick, help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both? Should I move somewhere else and come back? Actually, I think this is exactly what I had to do. Looks like they have Maggie in questioning. I guess I've asked her pretty much everything. I'll come back if there's anything else I need to ask her later. January 6th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one that's gonna find her innocent? No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation. Well, but whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal. She's really fired up about this. Oh yeah, one more thing. The retrial has been approved. Court setting at 10 AM tomorrow. And Godo is gonna be the prosecutor. Oh, him. Now listen up, pal. If Maggie's found guilty again... Yes? I'll make sure you get locked up good for it. Got it? Maybe show him what I have. What do you make of this? Sorry, pal, all I can think about it is Maggie at the moment. No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant... You don't have to explain, really. What's that? Sports paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine rack at Tribulations. It's dated the same day as the murder. You may be onto something here. And take a look at this. See this writing here? MC Bomber. Hey! What is it? I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah, MC Bomber. That's illegal. What is illegal? What part of it is illegal? The fact that she got taken away? Probably. Yeah. If it's her age, she is legal now in this one game. So yeah, but being forcefully taken away like that, yeah, that's probably illegal. Yeah. Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. It's no good. I can't remember. And he goes back to being the gumshoe we all know and love. Hey pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get handwriting analysis done on this scribble. Handwriting, huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks pal, I bet this'll turn out to be an interesting clue. Looking him up for not being able to get an instant verdict? Ah, that, yeah. Yeah, it is. I wasn't at the trial myself, but I asked this one detective I know how your defensive was. And what did he say? He started off by saying I'm at a complete loss for words. But he must have found some quick because he went on about how bad you were for an hour. But he said you sucked so much it seemed like you were trying to get Maggie found guilty. It looked like I was trying to get Maggie found guilty. Well, that's... If it really was him, the murderer, it wouldn't make sense. Is that thing real? Why does everyone keep asking me that? I wonder what this phony of yours looks like. He had Maggie found guilty of murder, doesn't that tell you? You've got to track this creep down. Oh yeah, let's talk to him now. So the kiddie party was Maggie Bird, huh? Yeah, back when she was on the police force. You were our mentor when she was a rookie, right? Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? I was just hurt. It wasn't anything like... Look, sure, I was her boss when she was doing her training. But that was it. Nothing happened. Kim, she sure is sweating up a storm over nothing. Ah, so that's it. Our big old gumshoe has a little old crush on Maggie. Well, that's what I thought anyway. I don't like her or anything. I was... Arrgh! Note to self. Gossip with Maya about this later. Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You've got to keep it a secret. Got it? You sure? And would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time? Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You'd have to be blind not to see what's on your mind. How old are they, both of them? Yeah, there's a certain age difference, I guess, but, well. So I was wondering, could you fill me in on the victim? Glenn Elg, he was a computer programmer. A programmer. He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had... Ah, shit. Never had heard of him before. He likes her. She doesn't see it, I think, though. Ah. Yeah, that's probably it, then. Because I think that was hinted at already in the previous game, wasn't it? And all she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder, pal. Yeah, Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often? Not according to the chef, said it was the first time he'd seen the guy. A programmer and a first-time customer at that. What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that? That's what I thought, but a motive was still somehow established in her trial. You're kidding. What was her supposed motive? Sorry, pal, I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to sift through these papers. Look into it yourself, okay? What could this motive have been? This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself. Oh, that's right. The judge already ruled on the case and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is with Maggie's testimony. Yeah? Doesn't sound very good for us, huh? Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow, so I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's... Okay, so she's a bit out there and a bit of off base sometimes. She was a good cop. That's not exactly complimentary, you know? So what do you think really happened? Just how contradictory is her testimony? The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. She says there were 2 people, but everyone else insists that there was only 1 person. Maggie still insists that there was another guy sitting with the victim. Right, but get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD. CD? Oh yeah, she did mention something about a CD. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. It was nowhere to be found. Yeah, there was no CD. Yeah, I expected as much somehow. That because the real murderer would have had to have a motive to kill him, right? And the CD, maybe, to steal it. That would have been a reason. The CD was not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal. But didn't Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece too? Yeah, but that was for the portable radio in the front pocket of his hoodie. A radio. It didn't have a CD player? You got it. Your phony never explained that contradiction at all. Well, he probably wasn't carrying the CD around to listen to it. If the other guy was really a music promoter or something from a record company or something like that, come to think of it, the owner of Très Bien didn't mention that CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong's got something to hide. It feels like he should be telling me something else. What do you make of this? Sorry, pal, all I can think... I know, okay. Chef of Très Bien, huh? Back to the restaurant. I'm going to try to show him the profiles to see if it unlocks anything else. You know what that chef said to me? Oh la la, your body is full of la toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders, put a few drops of it in my bath every day. Under orders? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady, guy. Huh? You can't stop thinking about him? Not like that, pal. Give me a break. It's not my type. I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow. Sounds like he knows a little something more about our charming chef. Aha! Yeah, there was something. Usually when there is only 3 questions that you can ask, it means that there's a little bit more that you can unlock by showing him pieces of evidence from the court record or character profiles. So what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Très Bien? It's kind of hard to say. The guy's probably not even connected with the case anyway. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me the dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kinda... Juniper? That is the name of a character in the later games. Oh, really? I never played any of the later games. Before I bought the HD collection on the Switch, I had never played any game besides the first one and a little bit of the second one. You go to Très Bien and investigate the place yourself. If you recall correctly, it's possible. Could be. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice in this, huh? Guess I better find out more about the chef in Très Bien and report back to Gumshoe. Yeah, right. And now I think that was everything. Okay, she wasn't there. Oops. Oh, there's something in the office? Poor Maya, it looks like Mr. Armstrong's really taken a shine to her. I suppose I'll just have to let her work at the restaurant for a while. Yes, Woods? What, Juniper Woods? Because I've never played them, I wouldn't know, unfortunately. Maybe someday. I would like them to do maybe an HD port or something of that, because they were never released physically in Europe. They never got a physical copy, so I didn't buy them on 3DS. But if they did if they were re-released like for the Switch or something like that, and they got a physical release, I could import it because the Switch is region free. So I imported the physical copy from Japan for that one because we didn't get a physical copy of that one on Switch either in Europe, but I wanted it on a cartridge. From the detention center, I should be able to go to the restaurant. Yeah, okay, there we go. You got it for the iOS? The later games were released on iOS too? Oh, I never noticed. But if I was to buy it, I would like to have it on a physical on physical media anyway. The scent of flowers sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. What? Who's that? That's not Maya, is it? No, that can't be. Oh, hello? Who was that just now? A customer? She had a sort of a dark aura about her, more like a ghost more than anything else. Ah, welcome, bienvenue. No, that would be Maya probably trying to make a French accent but failing miserably. Wow, what a cute voice. Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya! Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being the spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. And who was that woman I just saw? Oh, since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. I'm kind of hungry, actually. So how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work for the cash register. Of course we need a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra cute waitress. Check out my give me a tip Maya. Hey Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment, or so he says. How much is it? It's the twin tea set, so it's $20 of course. Twin tea set? I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? But you can't. Come on, Nick. It's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch. Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, Kitchen! A lunch special, please! With all the extras, drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya is really getting into this. So how much is the set lunch then? $20, huh? But with the drink, side salad, and dessert, it's $45. Hey, wait a sec, Maya. Sorry to keep waiting, sir. Here you are. Our deluxe 45 lunch set. Whoa. A dish inspired by a lobster and abalone fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette. Bon appetit. Thanks. Come on, Nick. Hurry up and try it already. Lobster, huh? Alright. Down the hatch it goes. Well, are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, it's yours. Really? Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you'd better polish off that plate. I just remembered I've got to clean the toilets. Hey, you can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. Tribulations lunch special had its court record. It's disgusting. How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey Nick, you want to take a peek at the kitchen? The kitchen, huh? Not a bad idea. Now what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all of the chef's greatest secrets. Second thought, I'm not sure I want to see. In the kitchen, that sounds tasty. Hey, wait up, Maya. What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Aren't you going to show me around? There goes my plan to find some cool clue and show it off in your face. I'd better conduct a search in the kitchen myself. It's probably gonna be disgusting. About this. Sorry, Nick. I'm a waitress now. I've got a pile of work waiting for little old me. No. Seems like I'm supposed to show her something else, but... No, okay. Guess not. Well, it's actually cleaner than I thought it would be. What's that case down there? With all the bottles of perfume or something. He uses perfume in his dishes. What? And here it is, the famous Trivia Kitchen. It's my first time in here too, actually. There was a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we'd better search quickly. Chop chop. Well, that's what catches my eye the most. What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. Doesn't notice what's lost. The Magatama? Behind her on the table, maybe. They're all the same too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So what's that liquid inside then, I wonder? Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look at how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? Ah, yeah, it's on the table, yeah. Now, I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, this container has oyster sauce. What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? Ah, look! Right there on the corner. My Magatama, what's it doing there? What indeed? Magatama put into pockets. Now, I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Yeah, okay, no. Hey, look at these knives. They look pretty sharp. I'd like to see how one of those slices through a cheesecake. Cheesecake? You don't exactly need a sharp knife for one of those, Nick. There's a book. And now, this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarice Armstrong's Bedtime Literature. Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? Looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool. Read one out and say it in your best French accent with intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Printemps. It means spring. The two of them, like actors from a film, the coffee still undrunk. Sweet nothing's over too soon. On that sad Sunday morning, the foolish cocktail so delicious. Take the last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. Doesn't even rhyme or anything. Huh? That's it? Yep, that's a poem for you. What are those lace curtains for? I don't know, but they give the place a real homey feel, don't they? Lace curtains. You know, if I was a cooking pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on a shelf under those. How do you respond to something like that? That smells good. Something's bubbling away nicely in that pot. Must be the lobster and abalone fricassee with the balsamic vinaigrette. Isn't that what I just ate for lunch? Maybe what you ate is the only French dish I know the name of. If it smells so good, how can it be so bad? Isn't that everything? I now notice it mentions the two people at the table in the poem. It does? Let me check it out again. Yeah. Yeah, coffee still undrunk. Two actors from a film. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's relevant in some way. Well, I've talked to her about everything. I've presented everything to her. Let me save everything I've just done. Well, now that I have the Magatama... Oh, the old guy is not here anymore? Drat, and I still have some unanswered questions for him. A scooter, huh? Who'd leave it right in the middle of a park like this? The wheel guard and the light are busted. Take poison to gumshoe? I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. What is that? What is that? What is that? Hey, what do you think you're doing with my bike? Who is that? Been messing with my new ride. Is that what you've been doing? New ride? Isn't that kind of an old... Right, you's gonna pay for this. It wasn't me, I was just passing by. Hey, then who's the one that covered my saddle in crap, huh? You's gonna pay, you catch my drift? No, wait a sec, I'm not a pigeon. A wise guy, eh? I had to beat you. He beat you so hard, it'll feel like you were smooching the express train. You's better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers and then you's gonna pay. Actually, I'm a lawyer myself. What you say? I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Phoenix Wright? You saying you Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I am. So you a wise guy too, huh? Cause I'm Phoenix Wright, the one and only. What? Out of my way, I gotta cruise. It's a Boston or New York accident? Surely that guy wasn't my phony, was he? He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Ridden by my phony. The wheel guard is all smashed up. That was my phony? A Boston or New York accent? Accent. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. I'm not too clued up about the different American accents, I'm afraid, since I'm not from that part of the world. And I couldn't make one. I couldn't pretend to make one because I just don't know what it's supposed to sound like. Like, specifically. Oh, it's you. For a few threats from a little brat like that. And you look like a pigeon that's got seeds in its eyes. Have you been here the whole time then? I wasn't that strawberry. I had thinking to do. More like you had some cowering to do. Okay. Is he lying about something? I have that thing. Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that you dislike it so much. Why would you keep going there? Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Haha, take that. There we go. 3, huh? I knew it. This old guy has got something to hide, but what could it be? Well, I could try now. Or I could... Maybe I should bring the poison to Gumshoe first. Because he might have something for me to unlock some of these locks. Yeah, this is where I want to go. Hey, you're just in time. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? The lab got back to me about that newspaper you gave me. It must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did they say? Did the analysis turn up anything? They said the doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Elg. No doubt about it. I expected as much. The victim took the paper with him to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment. Sports paper refiled into the court record. Left by the victim, doodle is in victim's handwriting. MC Bomber. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back to me with whatever you find in the restaurant, okay pal? Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I need to show him. You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh? Only this one doesn't smell. Huh? I don't get you. This was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same. Wouldn't you agree? A cologne bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I want to send it to the lab for analysis. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. And I expect them to be poison. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. I had a hunch there was something funny about that chef. You suspect Jean Armstrong? I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is. That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before. I guess I'd better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean. So what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Très Bien, pal? Yes, so how was it? To put it nicely, it was inedible. Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so... yeah, I guess it's probably the food. The real scoop on the guy is he's up to his ears in debt. Really? How much does he owe? This is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. $500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah, hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. And the $500,000 thing, that's what was written on the sports magazine, but crossed out. I mean, if he was in a deal to sell something for like $500,000 or something, but then the other guy only wanted to give him $100,000, that would be a motive for murder. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch. Jean's loan contract. Jean's debt is $500,000. The owner of the loan is tender lender. Tender lender. No, I didn't expect him to have anything to say about that. And he just gave me this, so... $500,000 bills. What was the in there for? Is there really that much money tied up in this case? I can't give you an answer on that, pal, not without the case file in front of me. But I'll tell you this, that Armstrong guy would have done anything for cash. He was desperate, you know? No, I don't, but I think I sort of get the picture. Well, this last thing seems to be to have more to do with unlocking the psyche locks on Jean than it does with the old man in the park, so maybe I should go back to the restaurant now? But he's nowhere to be found, though. Alright, let's try to... What's that? Anything? What? TOS? What's that? Ah, crap. Move. I'm gonna have to end the stream in like 10 minutes from now, though. So I'd like to at least be done with this part of the case before I do. Present Magatama. I'll try anyway. Très bien, regular. It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at the restaurant that you dislike so much? Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants. Eat to eat. To eat, is that the whole truth? What do you mean? I don't think you go to that restaurant for the food at all. You insolent brat, how dare you accuse me? What proof have you got? I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for its food. I love the lock music. Yeah, it is pretty cool. The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the lunch menu. That's the twin tea set. The food at Très Bien is terrible and expensive. You're wrong, it's cheap, huh? I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich. I haven't done a job of work since I was born, other than feeding the pigeons. What a load of crock. Taste is another story, but the price, it's nothing to me. So you're saying that you go there because you've got money to burn? Exactly, I have so much cash I go for a swim in my money vault every day. Scrooge McDuck? Is that you? Unfortunately, that's a lie. What? You don't have money to burn, you're flat broke. How can I prove that? How do I prove that? Makes it feel like you're floating? Yeah, it's it has that zen feeling, I guess. The job yeah. Ah, shit, I have to start over from the beginning, unlocking the locks thing. Yeah, it's true. It was his. Yeah, okay. Well, I've already read that out loud. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's true. This is yours, right? My magazine. Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job? I was, so what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money. Oh. I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the Javachino. Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there? $8. Those had better be some golden beans. What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it? No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great. No, it's not, but anyway, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day. Newspapers? Exactly, they don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there. That's not true, because my, or is it Maggie? That said that he never carries newspapers or something like that. I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Très bien. Well, Maggie said it, yeah. So what, I show Maggie? You like seeds, do you, boy? Sorry? If you like them so much, then how about them seeds? Now eat up, boy. You heard me? Ow. Well, yeah, no, that's not what I was supposed to do. Yeah, she did say it, but how do I... Yes, I did get a penalty. That's because of my overlay. You can't see... You can't see the bar in the top left corner. Yeah, see, there we go. Look, I lost a bit of health there. Yeah, I did get a penalty, yeah. Recovered in the kitchen, très bien. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can prove it. Oh yeah, that one. Well, it doesn't say straight out that it's that there are no others, but it's the only thing that makes sense, yeah. What is it? It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Très bien. So, what of it? This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago. What? Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer happened to leave behind. Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth? I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go to so much to Trivia is... well, I think that it's for the girls. I think that contrary to what he says, he enjoys looking at them. It's the only thing that he would be interested in the restaurant, in my opinion. And I don't think he's gay either, so... What are you asking me about that girl for? She was a waitress at Tribulations. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress. But I don't recognize that face. And you are probably telling the truth here. Because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but at her outfit. That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress's uniform. The uniform is all you can think about, isn't it? And now that she's gone, he's not going to the restaurant anymore. That's why he's so... I mean, he seems to be drunk from the red nose, and he seems to be pretty angry, throwing those seeds at the pigeons. That would explain the anger. I can't take it. To you, that waitress was your... Enough! Please, no more! Stop saying that word! Stop saying waitress! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Well, I got my little bit of health back. Sir. Yes, it's true, I was there for the young girl. Fine, so I'm a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil. No, I didn't mean it like that. I even get one of those lousy cups of Javachino every time, for $8. All because of the serving girl. Punish me, lock me up. Really, that's not what I'm here for. You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me. No, really, listen, sir. Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy, so show me some respect, I'm Victor Kudo. Sorry, Mr. Kudo. You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more. This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his psyche locks and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a better mood. What about the other guy? Or, hold on. Oh, it's that old man. Is he still feeding the pigeons? Yeah, he fed me as well. I got a bunch of those seeds in my eyes. Ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Ah, yeah, that would be an incentive. It would be in a better mood if he saw Maya in that outfit. Actually, I didn't think of it when I showed her the profile, but yeah, I can see where this is going. I'll just get changed. No, hang on, don't change. That defeats the purpose. Can you go like that? I guess. Sir? You again. Well, I see. Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay, I think it's going pretty well. Ha! Huh? You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the slide, alright? Play on the slide? Oh, is it that she's not curvy enough? We were so close. Just a little more and he would have spilled. Pigeon, cat, or is it working? How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir. Quiet, can't you see I'm feeding the pigeon? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, how didn't I think of putting more curves on Maya herself? Yeah, right. If you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you. Yes. Of course, certainly. I'm Victor Kudo. Even from beyond the grave. Wow. Okay, what you saw. About the incident. Yeah, after this interview, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. You mean the man who died after drinking the Javachino? It's like he's a different person. It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. The girl took the Javachino over to him, you see. And was the customer alone? Definitely, he was the only person at the table. Then he took one sip of his Javachino and he said something like, "Rah," and then collapsed, dead. Oh, how terrifying. You're so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now, but it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. He was perhaps too busy looking at the girl. That's why he didn't see it, perhaps. Do you like the food at Tribien? Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London. Really? How interesting. Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France. What a lovely story. London's in England, not France. Oh yes, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want France. I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. You visit Tribien a lot, don't you? Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there. Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure. Be careful of that chef, my dear. Chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong? That's right. That man's an ex-con. He's an ex-con? Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do? Oh no, those eyes. I can't take this. Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand. He steals things from his customers. Well, I noticed. From his customers? Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things mainly. He's a pilferer, so you be careful around him, my dear. Are you sure about this? Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my Jappuccino. He really is a regular. Let me write you a little haiku about it. A haiku? A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about that chef. The poem was... Oh, but no, the poem was... But no, the poem... Phoenix was reading it out loud with a French accent, but it was perhaps written by this guy. Convicted before a wicked man or woman, repeat offender, Victor Kudo. If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement. Poor guy, he couldn't do enough for Mia. Okay, Phoenix, that's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. We got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. Okay, I'm afraid I have to stop here, unfortunately. I will be back tomorrow around the same time. That's the afternoon for me. So tomorrow, in the afternoon, same time as today, and I will be playing. Normally, I should be on a bit more tomorrow in the afternoon. That should be a longer stream, but for now, I have to leave. So, thanks, guys, and well, see you again very soon. Then, take care until then.